What's up, everybody? It's your girl Quella Graphic Love coming to you today with yet another video. I hope everyone has been doing well, and I hope that you are all caught up on all my videos thus far. I've been trying to crank them out and continue to be consistent on here and just think of more creative content that would be relatable to people. That's kind of like my shift in my focus right now. So as I'm searching here on my computer, recent experience popped into my head and I was like, you know what? I know I'm not the only one that's experienced this. This is something that has happened to so many people, and especially in a time like this where there are so many people who have lost their jobs or people who are looking for new employment or new gainful employment. Just that weird limbo feeling when you don't hear back from that job that you applied for. It's literally been crickets, aka job rejection, aka job ghosting. So, that moment when you have applied to a job and you've got your resume, you've got your required materials, you've completely filled out the application, you've got your references, you've got pretty much everything down pat to a T. And then you submit it and then you wait. And I think that waiting period is like so painstakingly, crucially just painful, because waiting to know if you got the job or even considered for an interview or even if they viewed your application. One good thing about Indeed is they're able to show you that your application has been viewed by employers. But I think this feature is only, I think it's only if the employer actually selects that feature. So it gives you some type of insight, like, okay, well, they did get my application. They did see me. You know, I didn't just fly under the radar. But it's like week 1, week 2, and by week 3, you're ready to, send up another follow-up email to the hiring manager and just check on the status of your application. And just pretty much that's the steps that you do, especially when you're eager for a job. So there have been times where I've read the job descriptions and it's been the literal ideal atmosphere job that I want to be in. And I'm already envisioning myself there. I'm already, seeing where it is in the city and what's around there, and kind of just scoping and positioning myself into the possibility that I may have this job, that I may have landed it, that the odds were in my favor. But to be honest, it doesn't always work like that, and it is very discouraging. And with the discouragement, you start to question yourself, your skills, your abilities, your talent, your creativity, literally everything that you've worked so hard for, or your experience especially. And this is coming just from a personal place as well, and just to be relatable. This happens to me a lot when I've applied to jobs, and for most of you that watch my channel or already know, I am a graphic designer. So more than likely the jobs that I'm going to apply for are going to be graphic design. I do like a particular type of graphic design. I'm more into the client designer type relationships, and more in an agency atmosphere, more that type of basic work. I'm not really the designer that's into doing postcards and direct mailers and flyers and stuff. That, to me, that's just not knocking any designer that's their thing, but it's just not it for me. So usually when I'm looking for my jobs or searching, or whenever, I'm just taking a peek to see what opportunities are out there, and not just in my city, but even outside of my city, in the event that I want to move, because I would love to relocate. I would love to just, see what else my field has to offer in different states and different cities and stuff like that. So there just comes a point where you know what you're looking for and you know what your experience lines up to, and you don't want to undermine yourself or second guess yourself, where you're lowering your skill set to take jobs that you know that you are overqualified for, or jobs that you're just taking just to get. So there was once a time where I applied for a graphic design job, and actually I applied to several, like 3 at one time. I usually do a good much, however many I can find. So I applied to 2 of these jobs, and specifically these positions were heavily graphic design. You're kind of like in a senior designer position, and I was going over my resume, making sure the verbiage was right. I added some things to my website and took some things away, kind of cleaned up some things. I made sure that my experience and everything was showing to a T in detail, everything that I knew to do, what programs I knew, what software I'm comfortable with, what skills that I have. I was just making myself be presented in a way that was 100% truthful. You know, like I know I have 8+ years graphic design experience. I know I have this much experience in Photoshop. Like I exceeded amounts. And so I was very confident when I applied to the job, this one in particular. You know, I was like, I feel really good about this. I've got this in the bag. You know, they're going to be calling me the next day because I'm the best candidate, but not in a way that was like cocky or anything, but just when you're very confident in your skills and your experience and you vet your work up against what they already do and it kind of already aligns, the chances are like blaring at your face, this is your future job. And so I applied, I did everything, and I actually applied on 2 different job websites. So one was posted on Indeed and the other one was posted on LinkedIn. It was both the same position. I think that shows eagerness that you're really interested in getting the job or even, you know, having the skill set to do the job. So I think that's a plus if employers see that. If you do see a job that you're really, 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 really wanting to get on, check to see if it's posted anywhere else, and maybe you can better your chances if you apply multiple websites. So I say all that to say 3 days went by, the weekend came, a holiday came, another weekend, and I'm just like, okay. So I know it takes time for jobs to vet, to sift through all the applications and match them up against the websites and the resumes. And I completely understand that. I understand how it is. But I just started to get a little shifty because I'm like, okay, well, they said my application was viewed 8 days ago, and it's been 8 days or however many days, and it said that it's been viewed. But when I go to the job, it doesn't say that it's expired or deleted or anything. It's kind of just still there, accepting applications. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna give it another day. We'll see. To be like a week and a half. Around this time, it was already reaching a week and a half. So I'm at a week and a half, and something is just telling me, Quella, look into the job a little bit further. So I decided to go back on Indeed. I opened up another tab to the company's website and I checked to see if they had any career opportunities on there. I also looked on their Facebook page and see if they had announced any designer. I looked on their LinkedIn page to see if they had made any mention about hiring a designer or anything like that, and I wasn't seeing anything. Like before I even go into a job or even apply, if I'm familiar with it, I will still go and do my further research to make sure like I'm not just applying to a job just cause, you know, I want to make sure that I know the atmosphere, I know the environment, I know kind of the feel of the work that they're doing. So, then I go to Indeed and I see that it said that my application was viewed, but when I click into the job, like the applied jobs tab, it said that it had been deleted, removed, or expired. And from my years of being on Indeed, I know what that means. The job is closed. I didn't freak out yet because I'm like, okay, well, maybe just close it because they got too many applications. Employers do that all the time on Indeed. And then I told you I had the website link open, and then this company, they had like each of their workers or, you know, whatever position the person was in, they had it on their main website. So it's like meet the team type of thing. So I remember how the meet the team page looked when I first heard about the job, first applied or whatever. And then I go back and I see 2 new images. And one of the people had been promoted to another position with a different title. And the other position was graphic designer. And before I got furious, before I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I've been waiting this long, wasting my time. I wish I would have known something. They should have said something, sent like a follow-up email. Oh, we decided to go with a different candidate type of thing. I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any of that at all. If I didn't do my research, I would still be sitting here today wondering what happened with that particular position. But I found out that they did hire another designer, and I was crushed because that environment would have been, I'm telling you guys, I'm a design nerd, and that environment would have been me. I would have been thriving in there, killing it. I know I would have. And I have that much confidence in myself and my skill set because I know, like, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I have to offer when it comes to my design work and my skill set and my experience. So me being the person that I am, I looked and I did research and I found out who this particular individual was, and I looked up their LinkedIn and I found their portfolio website. And the thing that really got me was the person that they hired. Mind you, when the posting was on Indeed, it said required 3+ years graphic design experience. You don't need to have agency experience, but they had all these other criteria. I hit each one. The person that they hired literally just graduated college in December. Yeah. And the only work they had prior to that was freelance work. And the work on the website was all college work. It was not real field experience type of work. And I'm not saying that to knock the person, their skill set, or I'm not that type of person to tear down another designer or anything like that. But I just found it funny that in order for me to apply for this position, I had to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, plus the required experience, plus proof in my portfolio and all the extras. But, you know, someone who doesn't have that and fits that atmosphere, if you know what I'm referring to, they were able to get the job. They were able to be considered over me. And honestly, they couldn't have done interviews because that process was very quick. Because I applied on a Wednesday. It had been a weekend, and then it was also a holiday. And then even in that time, there was another holiday. So it was kind of like, okay, well, that's kind of odd. But I was just sitting there trying to figure out, okay, when do they even have time to do interviews? Because there was something specific going on in that time where, you know, not much contact was happening, so you can't really do like full interviews. But yeah, the picture was on the website. I believe he was the new hire. It was a professional photo, and I'm like, man, they move fast. And it really crushed me because I was like, man, you know, I really thought I had it in the bag with that one. Like, I thought that one was gonna be, I thought that was gonna be it. I really thought that was going to be it. But I did have a backup plan or something like that going. So, but if I had to weigh the two, I think that one kind of would have been more in my atmosphere, just being honest. But that was a time where, you know, I really sat back, and I remember after that, I looked over my portfolio and I looked over my resume, and I was like, you know, is my work even good enough? Is it even considerable? You know, do I need to add more skills to my skill set? Which is always good to advance your skill set. Nothing wrong with that at all. I was just at a point where I didn't really know. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't really know how to handle it. I didn't really understand what was taking place. You know, I took it personal. It took me about maybe a day or so, or just to sleep on it, and I was over it. I just accepted it for what it is, and I was like, you know what? Maybe that person would have been a better fit. Maybe that person, you know, could have gotten to certain things done that I probably wasn't able to. Maybe I would have been unhappy there. Maybe I would have sold myself short. You know, there's so many what ifs and maybes and why I probably didn't qualify and why it was a disqualifier because it just took a lot in me to not say it what it really was. You can get a vibe and you can get a feel of certain spaces and places and stuff. So I was pretty much, I haven't heard anything, still hadn't heard anything. And I was pretty much job ghosted. I was pretty much rejected. And job rejection sucks, especially when it's a job that you're looking forward to or the perfect person for that position, for that place. And I think a lot of times we feel that way and we think that, but I am a believer. And because one door closes, doesn't mean another one won't open and that there isn't another opportunity. So I feel like, you know, that didn't work out. There's another one down the line that'll be way better for me. Or there's another one that's going to benefit me in a way that I didn't think I needed, but probably did. So I'm just trusting that factor. And in that time, it is tough. It's tough to accept, like, you know, maybe I need to better my skills. Maybe I suck. But I just wanted to share that little story because I know right now there's a time where people have been losing their jobs. There's a time where people have been let go from their jobs. They're searching for jobs and waiting around and wondering, okay, well, I applied here, I applied there, and I'm not hearing anything. And sometimes employers just don't do the best follow-up work. And even when you do reach out and follow up, sometimes they still won't answer you. It's happened to me several times. And I just want to give you guys this encouragement because this was the encouragement that I got when I was going through that time, is don't lose focus of the bigger picture. Meaning, you know, maybe that position you thought would have been good for you, like I mentioned, probably wasn't going to be all peaches and cream. It probably wasn't going to be a walk in the park. The universe has something set up bigger and better for you. And I would rather tap into that than to sell myself short and not give myself a full chance and settle. And I know job ghosting hurts. Job rejection hurts. It hurts just as much as, you know, a breakup. It hurts just as much as like a pain, like a letdown, you just get very discouraged. And I know I was very hard on myself. And that next day I really went deep into, you know, what is it that I want to do? Like, I had to rescope what it really was that I wanted to do with my career field and education and skill level and things like that. And I really had to go back and figure that out. And it was something to figure out for sure, but it helped me gain clarity. And gaining clarity is something that will help you to navigate for the rest of the time moving forward. So I hope me sharing my story of job ghosting and rejection is relatable to that. Other people can share their stories as well and, you know, be transparent. I like to be a transparent person. So I like to know, like, why did you feel this way? How did you react? You know, did something better come along? And this could be a testimony to the times when I do have that job or that dream, you know, whatever position. I look back to these videos in this day and be like, oh man, you know, I was actually a lot closer than I thought. I had to go through some mud to get to the pretty green grass. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'm really, really grateful and thankful that you guys are continuing to watch my content. I'm really happy with the progress that my channel has been making. And I know it's baby steps, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. So I don't discourage any type of growth. It's small growth leads to big victories. But I will see you all in my next one. Thank you all for tuning in, and remember to stay graphic.